Hello guys, it's Dale here with the daily levels commentary for 31st of January 2023. This is the video which I regularly post in the members area for members of my elite pack, but today I decided to make this video public for everyone to see the kind of videos that I do there and what you can expect if you become a member of the elite pack. So let's get to it. Let's comment on the levels that we had, on the new levels that I have, and we will start with levels on the euro dollar. So what you're looking at is 30-minute chart of the euro dollar, and the first thing that I like to comment on is a level that I published yesterday, and that level was at 1.0843. It was in here where you see this blue line. It was based on the rejection setup. It was based on this heavy volume cluster within this rejection. As you can see, there was a nice reaction to it. Ideal case would be go long from there and quit it when the price hit the first deviation, because this often works as a resistance, as you can see in here, as well as in here. What I did was I quit the level in here. Reason I quit the trade here was that if you look in here, the price rejected this zone in the past. Let me draw a line here. And then the price blew past that rejection. So this former support was risky to trade here because it became a resistance, or it could become a resistance, so it was risky to trade past this level. So that's why I quit the trade in here. Also, I wanted to go to sleep. I didn't want to hold that level, that trade when I was sleeping, so I quit it in here where it touched the first potential resistance. As you can see later on, it went past it and it reacted to the second resistance in line, which was the first deviation of VWAP. Alright, so that was the trade from yesterday. Currently it is discarded, so let me delete that. And there is a new level, new long level that I'll trade, and it is at 1.0812. It is based on the same thing, same setup. Again, we have a rejection of lower prices and significant volume cluster here. This volume cluster is better visible if you look at futures and on order flow. See, this is it. This is that rejection of lower prices right here. And as you can see, order flow highlights this zone in yellow because there is a double node in here. So just by itself, and this is telling us something that this should work as a support. And also there's a heavy volume cluster very nicely visible in here. As you can see, it is in dark gray color, which is telling us that massive volumes were traded here in this block. All right. Also, we can see positive delta in here and in here. This is telling us of the aggressivity of the buyers who pushed the price upwards from this zone. So it's nice confirmation on the order flow on this level. And that's the reason why I'm going to trade it. All right, so this is the level 1.0812 based on the rejection setup. All right, so that's for the euro. Let me now switch over to the Australian dollar US dollar. On the Australian dollar US dollar, we had a long level which was in here at 70.49. This level got tested a little bit sooner with this reaction. The price was at 70.51, which is 2 pips before that level, and it turned and made it to 70.64, which is 13 pips. All right, so 2 pips before the original level, the price made 13 pip reaction. After I saw that, I discarded that level because clearly this was the reaction and it came a little bit sooner. So there was no trade from this long level. Currently there are 2 new short levels on the Australian dollar. I haven't mentioned it, but we are looking at a 30-minute time frame. That's my favorite time frame to do this volume profile analysis. Currently there is a downtrend on the Australian dollar US dollar, and within this downtrend there are two significant volume zones that I like to trade. The first one is in here, and it is a bit wider zone, consists actually of two heavy volume zones, but I want to trade from this place. The thing is that this is where the aggressive sell started. Also, first deviation of VWAP is very close, and hopefully when the price retraces back to this level, this first deviation will still be around and the price will react to it the same way as it did on the euro, for example, as I showed you before, or in here, right? Price moves below this first deviation, makes a pullback, and boom, a reaction. So this is what I like to see here happening right there around this level. So this is the first chart, 0.7027. Those guys, those sellers, should defend this heavy volume zone and they should push the price downwards from there. The second chart is in here. It is based on those heavy volumes, right? And also it is based on the fact that we had our long level here, remember, a little bit below that level, but still it was there. There wasn't any too huge reaction to it, and when this happens, when there's not such a huge reaction to a level and the price goes past it, then I consider that level still valid, but not support anymore, but a resistance. So it is a combination of those things, right? This heavy volume zone created within the downtrend. This is a setup which I call the trend setup, and support which became a resistance. All right, so that's why I have that second chart in here at the beginning of that heavy volume zone. It is at 0.7052. So ideal scenario would be pull back to the first level, reaction, then pull back to the second level and reaction there. All right, so that's for the Australian dollar, US dollar. The next pair is the US dollar, Canadian dollar. So in here, the situation is a bit similar to the Australian dollar, US dollar, only in this case we are talking about uptrend and not a downtrend. So within this uptrend, there were two significant volume zones created recently. The first one right here, the second one right here. The levels are at the beginning of those heavy volume zones. The first one is 1.3420. Second one is 1.3388. Those heavy volume zones represent places where buyers, aggressive buyers, were adding to their long positions as they were pushing the price higher and higher, and those buyers should defend those levels when the price makes it back to them again. Reason is they placed a lot of the longs here and here, and this is telling us that those zones are important for them, so they'll want to defend them, right? So again, ideal scenario would be pull back to the first level, long from there, then pull back to the second level, long from there. All right, so that's for the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Let me now switch over to the US dollar, Japanese yen. On this pair, I don't have any new level. There is a pretty strong heavy volume zone right here within this rejection, but the volatility is too high for me to trade this, so I won't be trading it. The level could be somewhere at the beginning of that heavy volume zone. If you want to look for that reaction, it is somewhere around 129.43, but if you want to trade it, you need to use a wider stop loss, and that stop loss would need to be at least below the heavy volume zone, which would be here at 129.42. Right, so at least 20 pips. So that's for the US dollar, Japanese yen. And the last pair I'll comment in this video is the US dollar, Swiss franc. As you can see, the Swiss franc is very nicely reacting to the first deviation as well. Those are the reactions to the first deviation. And what I want to talk about in here is a new level that I published yesterday. It is in here at 0.9190, and it is based on a rejection setup. Right here, this is the rejection of lower prices, and what you want to see within the rejection is significant volume zone. Remember the thing that I was showing you on euro? This is the significant volume zone, and this is what I want to trade. So when there's a pullback to it, I think that buyers who rejected the price in here and push the price upwards into this uptrend will want to defend their longs, which they placed in here, and they'll push the price upwards from there again. Alright, so that's the logic behind this level. What we need to do now is just wait for the pullback and take it from there. By the way, one more thing I wanted to talk about here was this heavy volume cluster and this reaction to it. This would be a good level to trade from. It would be a bit lower at the beginning of that heavy volume zone, so the price would miss it. But still, that level is no longer good to trade because the price already made a reaction, couple of pips before it, but in my eyes it is tested. Alright, so that's for that. That's for the update on the current levels. If you guys are not members and if you would like to join us, then what you need to do is go to my website. This is it, trader-dale.com. Click browse courses, and in here you want to get the elite pack, right? Those are the trading levels I was talking about in today's video. Apart from that, the elite pack also includes 15-hour long video course on volume profile trading and also my volume profile indicators. There's a video that you can watch. The video will show you everything that you will get in the elite pack. Alright, so that's about that. That's about the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll be looking forward to see you next time. So until then, happy trading.